We've got this from All Key Shop. Sony lawsuit bombshell. Tencent wanted Horizon deal before allegedly copying it. So for those that aren't familiar, Horizon Zero Dawn, the Horizon series, has multiple video games and expansions. It's a video game where you play a female tribal human. There's a bunch of tribes. They're rather primitive, but there's weird advanced technology, gigantic animals, and monsters that are made of machines. For those who don't know, it's a decade-old game. The story is Earth was wiped out by AI bots that were consuming biomass until they destroyed the planet and turned into a barren rock. The solution launched by scientists was to build a bunch of underground terraforming bases so that after the biomass was completely consumed and the AI bots were destroyed because they had no energy, they would rebuild society with, I guess, incubation pods that would recreate humans. Something went wrong. Humans are tribal. Tencent launched effectively a clone of the game with robot animals that looks identical. Here's what I started thinking about this lawsuit. In the future, the wealthy people will be the people with imagination. If you can come up with an idea that's interesting, you instantly own that idea and nobody can ever use that idea. And if people like the idea, they have to pay you for it. So we're right now in what's called the attention economy. We had a manufacturing-based economy. We had a service sector economy. There were questions about whether that could work. Then we went to the information economy. We're now past the information economy into what's called the attention economy. Right now, the money you receive is largely determined by your ability to make people stare at you. And that's the easiest way to explain it. Podcasts are getting massive, YouTube, TikTok. The question is, can I make you look at me longer? And then your view of the world will be based upon those who have the ability to hold your attention the most, which creates really weird things like ElsaGate. I'm looking at this lawsuit and I'm thinking to myself, I mean, what was copied? Tribal people with robot animals? Can they own the rights to that idea? It's not like they directly ripped the story off. It's just similar. So this is what I imagine. In the future, your burger restaurant, you're going to be poor. You're going to live in the pod. You're going to eat the bugs. You're going to eat your UBI, whatever it might be. And there's going to be some ultra wealthy guy. Why? Because he owns the idea of a certain kind of food. And when you go to your chicken store and there's robots making your food in kiosks where you order it and you scan your palm or your retina to pay, and it's based on your government account, no one's working there. And the question is, AI organized it. AI filed the paperwork. Machines came and built it. The guy who owns it is ultra wealthy and flies around on private jets and does whatever he wants. But why? Because of the idea of the burger restaurant and the kind of food that it was good, so it's his. And you can't copy it. That would be illegal. The future is going to be, quite literally, people on UBI, if that, and the people of imagination who are smart enough to conceptualize things. That's one possibility of where we're going.
It's totally plausible.
That's it. No disagreements.
I mean, how far in the future are you thinking about?
50 years.
50 years.
Maybe not. Maybe not even 50.
You made a good case. I have to give it to you.
Perhaps. We're right now. We've been talking about there's an Amazon investment into what's it called, Showrunner.
Showrunner, and then what's the other one?
I don't know what the other one is. What's Showrunner's website?
I'm trying to do enough research to repudiate your point here, but
here we go. Showrunner.
Yeah.
AI generated sitcoms, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you guys. As soon as this AI is powerful enough, I am remaking Revenge of the Sith so that when Anakin walks in and Mace Windu has the saber to the Chancellor and he goes, "Don't let him kill me." And then Mace is like, "He controls the courts," and then what I'm going to change with the AI is that Mace is going to go, "Anakin, you're right. This isn't the Jedi way. Call more Jedi in and we'll have him tried." And then they come in and they arrest him, and Anakin never becomes Darth Vader, and that's the end of it because Mace Windu just didn't have to be a dick.
Then the rest of the movies don't even need to happen.
Yep, that's just over.
The funny thing about that is
episode 1, I mean, should have never happened, right? Episode 2 should have been episode 1, and then the Clone Wars should have been episode 2. But
Amazon is
We'll do that
dumping a
too.
bunch of money into AI-based streaming services, which is funny because they're closing up Freevee, which is their free streaming platform. I'm guessing they're probably going to end up using the existing infrastructure from Freevee to build out whatever that ends up being afterwards, because they're moving all the stuff that's on Freevee over to just Amazon proper. So they'll probably use the infrastructure from the free, like what is now the Freevee app for that AI program once it comes out.
Dude, this is
That's
so
going to
weird.
be that's going to be down the line. They're putting investment into it. Doesn't mean it's going to come out.
This showrunner website, they make TV shows, AI generated, and they used to have the videos on the site now. I guess they don't. I think, is there
I don't
sound?
know any pencils that stand up and write by themselves. Creativity is at a Deep Blue and Kasparov moment.
We were trying to prove that it was possible to build a chess machine that could beat the best human player in the world.
Because we didn't build Deep Blue to make chess players better, and we didn't build AlphaGo to make Go players better. We built it to win. It's a completely new medium, and it's going to push you to be more creative.
I'm not interested in AI as recreating a process that we already...
Whatever. Anyway, they were awful.
Oh, it was Fable Studios is the other one that I was thinking of.
Oh, right. Yeah. We played some of these shows, and they're just not good in any way.
Well, the idea is like the next generation of iPad babies are going to be the ones who are going to go into the showrunner app and just make their own shows without even really thinking about it.
Fable is showrunner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fable Studios and showrunner are like subsidiaries or something.
Same thing. When you go to Fable, it just brings you there. Yeah, so here, I'll give you this one. You know, we don't got to do a full segment on this one, but have you guys seen this app, Gage?
I have not.
You know, we here at Timcast have decided that, maybe we should have this. See, here's how it works. Your employees are required to sign into it, and then you can see there that they'll get a score between 0 and 1,000. And then if they're naughty and they don't do their jobs, I, as the boss, can reduce their score. Here's the best thing. It follows them everywhere they go for the rest of their lives. So when they try to apply to another job, that new company can look and say, Mary, you've got a 403. Can you explain to us why your work score is so low?
That's
Isn't that
dangerous.
what references were for?
Well, now we don't need it because we have called, it's a credit score, but for like society.
Yeah, I think it's a slippery slope there.
It's going to happen.
Because what if a person between the age of 35 and 45 is completely different than who they were from 20 to 25, and yet they're stuck with that being typecast based on who they were, while they were in college and they were part of some,
What if
bohemian frat or something?
What if your boss is this lecherous movie producer who says, if you want to move up in this company, you got to give me a little sugar. And then the woman goes, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to have to turn your score down. And then what if the inverse, your boss is some like purple-haired feminist, and then you're like, I'm here to do my job. Well, you're a man, and what you said was racist, and then you're like, why am I getting a bad score? And then what's going to happen? This is like the Black Mirror episode. You apply for a new job, and the boss goes, so I see that your Gage score is 615. It's a little low. Can you explain to us why it's so low? And you say, to be honest, it's unfortunate, but sometimes it happens. I don't think my boss and I got along, and so I tried to leave amicably. And they go, right. Well, look, I have another applicant with a 783. And I don't think you're really selling yourself, and I'm not interested in taking the risk on a 615, but I appreciate you coming in. Goodbye. They don't care about you. You think McDonald's is going to tell their regional managers?
Though? Like, what happened to, in privacy? I mean, when did that stop being, the hip thing? Hey, what's mine is mine, and I have a right to privacy, and I don't want people to know my business and my past, and...
People want it.
I agree, but I don't know if they understand where it leads to.
No, what I mean is, there's going to be a regional manager at a McDonald's franchise corporation that owns 50 locations, and the boss is going to be like, "What's our turnover rate?" And they're going to be like, "It's high." And he's going to say, "Why?" And it's like, "Well, because you know how it goes. You hire somebody, the references are fake, it doesn't matter, and then they're bad, and you fire them or they quit." And he's going to say, "What's this app everybody's using where you give a score? Just hire people who have at least a 700." And they go, "Okay, whatever you say." Starting now, require all employees to have it, so we can track their scores, and it's going to make it easier and safer and give us recourse for termination without HR lawsuits, like workplace lawsuits. And then you're gonna be 18 or 17 or 16, whatever. You're gonna go to McDonald's. You're gonna say, I want to apply for a job, and they say we require all employees to use Gage. Then here's the best part: they're going to post your schedule on Gage and say this is where you get information on your schedule. Make sure you check it every day because it can change. Then your boss is going to send you a message on Gage, and you're expected to answer. And they're going to say, I need you to come in on Sunday. I know you have off, but it's a rush day, and so we're asking you to come in. And no longer can you say, I didn't have my phone on me.
This is the future millennials want too, because Gen Z is all about work-life balance, and millennials are the ones that are answering their Slack messages at 10 p.m.
I am anti-background check. I am anti-Freedom of Information Act. I am against all these things. I don't apply them at my own company. I don't do background checks, and I don't think so. I am just opposed to this on principle, and I might be the wrong person to ask.
People already use Glassdoor as a rating system for employers. Why can't it be two-sided? Gage could be a two-sided platform where employers can rate their employees can rate their employers.
You know, I think the issue is the direction. If you have a company with 50 employees and you get a bad score, something's going on at that company for all of these people to be mad at you. And maybe it's not necessarily your fault. Sometimes the reviews are BS. But if you're an employer, one person who's bad, you can destroy 50 people's lives by giving them bad scores so they can never work again. Not to mention, it is creepy for a boss to be like, your score went down 5 points because you refused to mop the bathrooms. I think this is a creepy thing to do. Stars being like, I worked at this company, I give them 3 out of 5 stars. It's like, okay, I guess. This is a literal social credit score from 0 to 1,000 that follows you everywhere you go, no matter what. If I own a company and the employees give it a bad score and it fails, I just shut the company down and I open a new company. You have one account on this app, and you can't have 2 accounts, and that's going to follow you everywhere you go. And so if you get one boss that hates you, or like let's just go the feminist route, you get one boss that hits on you, and then you're like, I'm not interested, and he gets really angry and just says fuck you, and then he nukes your score. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I don't think that something like this would reach mass adoption because employers will know that there is plenty of room for situations like that and human error.
I think
they wouldn't just assume that the score is objective just because it was provided by someone's previous employer.
You, at a corporation, a regional manager, a mid-level manager, are confronted with 10 applicants for 3 available positions, and you've got 800, 800, 800, 800, 400, 400, 400. You're not going to go you're going to throw the 400s in the garbage. They already do this now.
No,
already
I
use
have
AI.
to disagree because I will want to actually speak to the 400s to understand why they're 400s. And I've learned through trial and error that I think I would throw the 800s maybe in the garbage before I'd throw the 400s in the garbage. I want to know why.
I think that makes no sense. It's illogical.
Well, I just think like Rate My Professor. It does seem illogical, but sometimes that's how Rate My Professor used to be a big thing when I was in college. And I started going on there trying to game the system, looking for the easiest professors. And then I found that I actually got my best grades with the hardest professors. So I find that the candidates that have some type of unique story or whatever, that they tend to have more to prove. They have more to prove, and so it's just you got to get them at the right place in their career.
80-20. You're going to be talking about a manager who makes $50,000 a year at overseeing like 3 McDonald's locations, and he's going to say, "Don't know, don't care. It's hard to get a good score. It is easy to get a bad score. So I know someone with a good score is at least able to pretend or hide whatever bad things they might be doing. And I'll take it because I don't got to deal with it. I'm not going to get sued over it. And I've got legal protection when I say we only hired a certain threshold. It makes it that I can't be sued when I say no to a bad applicant.
In fact, I just actually did this in practice not too long ago. I can't disclose like the specifics, but I will say that instead of the perfect candidate, I went with a candidate who really had nothing on paper and looked much more flawed and ended up, I think I made the right choice. It's only been about 3 months, but we'll see.
And that's entirely true. That will happen. The point is, at the macro scale, when companies have to hire 300,000 employees,
that's totally different.
Or they have 5,000 hourly wage employees at a series of chains, they're going to tell their managers, I don't know or care. We only hire 700 plus.
So you think this would happen mostly at larger scale companies and smaller ones wouldn't adopt something like this?
Smaller ones probably will spatteringly. But I feel like this app is an inevitability because We're a small company, and I've dealt with stupid government regulation and employment complaints.
But like, if you were using something like this, like me or Mary never would have been hired because we didn't have any history and like.
It's for hourly only anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hourly shift worker
Okay.
based. It's not for salaries. So we would never have this app in the first place.
Yeah.
But if you are a burger restaurant, look, it's really simple. The $30,000 a year manager of your burger shop doesn't care and is sitting there with all the applications in front of him, and he's going, "What time is the fight? Dude, I don't care." With this app, he's going to be like, delete anything under 800. He's like, filter out anything below 800. He's going to see 3 800s, and he's going to be like, we only got one spot to fill, and I got 3 800s. Everyone else is in the garbage.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's yeah. At scale.
AI will
At
probably
scale.
do it.
AI already does this.
Right.
Yep. AI already does resume searches. And so this is really fascinating. You know what people do? They'll take out keywords for algorithms like work late, overtime, double shift. They'll make it size 1 font and white, and they'll put it at the very bottom of the page where the AI can see it. So when people submit their resumes, the AI filters are specifically looking for certain keywords, and their resume gets shoved to the top, despite the fact that they might already write, "I'm hardworking, willing to work overtime, and I really want this job." By doubling up the words, the algorithms are weighing them more heavily, and then it's people are making weird AI manipulating resumes. We are welcome to the nightmare scenario. It's getting crazy. It's going to get worse.
It is one of those things. Like, there's a meme going around on X right now of the guy drinking the bottle of vodka in his car. And it's like what it's like applying for a job right now. It's like, welcome to your 3rd round of interviews. He's like, "Sir, this is a burger restaurant. Like, a 3rd round of interviews."
Yeah, for all of the talk about people not wanting to work, it's almost like employers don't want to hire either.
Yeah.
Here's the other big thing too, because someone's mentioned this in Super Chat. Dan Vicious says employers can't do references, risk of lawsuit. They tell you this. And every time, one of the first bits of advice you get when you're opening a business is anytime anyone calls your company to ask about an employee, you always just be absolutely neutral. You say, yes, so-and-so did work here. They no longer work here. I would not hire them again. Thank you and have a nice day. That's all you can say. Because if you say they did X, they did Y, it's defamation.
Yeah,
and
That's true. Yes.
yeah, they'll come after you. So think about this app. You're a company and you're like, how can we adequately share that this was a bad employee? Companies are going to be happy to do this. And there's nothing the worker bee can do about it. If you get locked in a low score, good luck getting out of that hole. You know, here's the other fun thing about it. There's going to be some dudes who are going to be like, "Hey, you own a restaurant, right? Hey, hire me on your app. Just give me good reviews. Like I'll give you $100." And they'll be like, "Okay, I want to get a 900, and then I can go apply." And that's what they'll do. Like there will be a dude at a Burger King who's a shift manager for $16 an hour, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'll hire you." And it's like, just come hang out, and I'll just give you good scores. You're good. And there'll be a lot of that. It's going to be wonky and busted. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.